What's going on, guys? Jake here with Venture Visuals, and today I'm going to be breaking down some effects that I see getting used a lot in Polo G's videos. Quite a few of Polo G's videos are shot and edited by the same person, and that person is Ryan Lynch. I'll leave a link to his YouTube channel below if you want to check out some of his work. In this video, we're going to be covering some of his most used effects and how they're created using Adobe Premiere Pro and Adobe After Effects. But the first thing I want to talk about before we jump into the edits is just Ryan Lynch's cinematography style. Ryan Lynch always has really good footage, really good B-roll, so anytime he is editing, he already has really good footage, and when you combine really good footage with really good visual effects, you end up with a great edit. Now, one thing I notice a lot about Ryan Lynch's edits is that he shoots a lot from below, and what I mean by below is he usually has his camera either level with whoever he's shooting or slightly below them, so they're kind of like wrapping down at him. Ryan Lynch also really seems to like combining freehand movements and camera angles with gimbal shots and very steady angles, and that helps give his footage a lot of variety. He's really good at capturing just the vibe of the shoot, the essence of the song. It always looks like the people he's shooting with are enjoying the moment, are enjoying their time shooting with him. So he's obviously very good at directing and making people feel comfortable. Another huge part of Ryan's editing style is just making quick cuts. You don't seem to see a lot of clips that he has in his edits lasting more than 1 to 3 seconds. Whatever the viewer is seeing is constantly changing. So now that we've covered some of Ryan Lynch's cinematography style, let's go ahead and jump into Adobe Premiere Pro and start dissecting some of his editing effects he uses in a lot of his music videos. So the first effect that I noticed Ryan using a lot of is using black bars. So for example, you'll see him use this effect a lot in videos such as Epidemic by Polo G. Instead of placing black bars on the top and the bottom of his footage, he places them on the left and right sides of his footage. So in order to do this, you're gonna go to Google and you're gonna type in black bar PNG and you'll get a lot of this. Now this first one should work just fine. You'll see it has a transparent background, so right click on it and hit save image to downloads. I see Ryan using this effect a lot on the intros for his videos, so this is actually a little snippet from the intro of the music video I was working on. So we'll go ahead and drag those black bars in from our downloads, and we'll just highlight it over the area that we want it to be. Bring the scale down a little bit on the sides like this. And now what I'm gonna do is just rotate it about 90 degrees, just like that. And we're gonna increase the scale. And boom, you got these like nice black bars on the side. Another thing that I see Ryan doing is he keyframes these black bars on the edges to kind of like come in to the frame. What you gotta do is highlight your black bars right here. I'm gonna go to where this cut is at the very end of this clip. And I'm just gonna make a keyframe on this scale and position. And then I'm going to go back to the very beginning, or where I want the black bars to start coming in, and I'm just going to keyframe the scale up a little bit. So now when we play it back from this point, you'll see the black bars start to come in on the sides like this. So it's a little bit more gradual intro for the black bars to come into your footage like that. The second main effect that I see Ryan Lynch using in his edits is just zooming in and zooming out using keyframes in his footage. And what I mean by this is you'll see these shots he's shooting and the frame will just be zooming in and zooming out, zooming in and zooming out on the people's faces, on different things in the frame. So let's hop back into Adobe Premiere Pro here. So let's just check out this footage here and then I'll break it down.
Damn, I feel like, man, a nigga out here winning. She can't come in. We here talking business. Meanings about running it up with no limit.
So you'll notice there's some zoom ins there that you see in the footage. So let's just break down from this first clip. If you look here, you can see that we got some zoom happening in and out.
Damn, I feel like, man, a nigga out here winning.
And I broke this clip down. So this first part is actually normal speed, and then the second part of it is slow motion, and then it speeds up really fast at the end. So this is a good way to give your footage a little bit, you know, more movement as well. And I see Ryan Lynch playing around with speed a lot as well, and I'm actually going to cover that a little bit later on in this tutorial. Basically what I did was I then nested this together so it just looks like one clip. Basically you just highlight it and nest it. So you'll see here at the top I just keyframed some position and some scale to zoom in right here, and then right when it starts getting a little faster, it starts zooming out.
Damn, I feel like, man, a nigga out here winning. She can't come in. We here talking business.
And then we also have some zoom ins happening here with the end clips as well.
Meanings about running it up with no limit.
The third effect I want to talk about that I see Ryan Lynch using in a lot of his edits is just speed. So he does a lot of stuff with speed where he's either slow motioning clips, where he's speeding up clips, everything's slow and then it moves fast. He's using slow motion and fast motion in a variety of different ways. So I just want to break down a little bit of what I do in Adobe Premiere Pro to get a similar effect. And you'll see that some of these clips are fast, some of them are slow. But it really just holds your attention, so let's check it out.
It's another flop with Kato doing 90 down Salem.
So there's just a lot happening just in that short 4 seconds. I mean, you're seeing like 5 different clips, and that's something that Ryan Lynch is really good at, is all those quick edits, all those quick cuts, slow motion, fast motion. He's very in control of what you're seeing in the moment. So let's just break down this first clip here. This first clip is going to be, if I hit Command R, you can see that it's in full motion, 100% speed. And then the second clip is in 45% speed. So these are 2 different clips. So we're going from regular motion to slow motion. And then at the end of this part actually speeds up to 900%. So we're getting regular motion, slow motion, super fast motion. And then the next clip is slowed down again, back to 45%. The clip after that is normal speed. And then the clip after that is back to slow motion. You know, I'm just varying the different speeds for each shot. And then some of these clips, you know, I'm speeding up the end of to really make it hit a little bit harder on the beat. So let's just check out what that looks like.
It's another flop with Kato doing that.
It's almost so fast that you can't even really process it. Your eyes are just taking it all in. It's like eye candy. So Ryan Lynch is really good at like editing to the beat, editing to the lyrics. So whenever something's about to hit, he's really good at like building it up using this effect by speeding up and slowing down his footage. The fourth effect that Ryan Lynch uses that I actually don't see too many people doing is he just animates the artist's lyrics in the music video. So you actually see him using this effect in the Icy Girl video with Polo G. He's actually using paint animations to make these words pop up on screen. As you can see in this Trench Baby video he shot, he actually has like these glowing words popping up on screen, these glowing lyrics. So we're just going to do a little breakdown of how to get these lyrics to pop up in your own music videos as well, and kind of give it a similar vibe to what he does. So I have a clip here, and this is a pretty basic phrase, so I figured it was going to be an easy clip to add some lyrics in around the sides of him on here. So let's just take a listen to what he says.
I woke up in beast mode.
So he just says, I woke up in beast mode right there. So what we got to do in Premiere is we're just going to highlight it, we're going to right click it, and we're going to say replace with After Effects composition. Now what this does is it just takes our clip straight from Adobe Premiere Pro right into After Effects, and anything we do in After Effects to this clip is going to come back instantly right into Adobe Premiere Pro. There's no need to export from Premiere Pro and bring it into After Effects, or export from After Effects and drop back into Premiere Pro, which is really nice. It's a really great feature of the Adobe suite, is that everything just links together. So we're just going to call this animated lyrics, save it to the desktop. So he just says I woke up in beast mode. So all we got to do is right click over here, we're gonna go new text, and we're just gonna type in I. We're gonna make it a little bit bigger so you can see it, and let's pick a cool font here. Now I get all my fonts from a website called Dafont.com, which I'll leave a link for below. You can download some really cool fonts on there. So let's just try one called Musician Crush, and I really like this one. It's got that, you know, grungy feel to it. So we got the I. Now we're going to duplicate that by hitting Command D, and then we're going to type in woke, and then hit Command D again, change that one up, and then we're going to do the same thing in beast mode. In beast mode. Now what we got to do is just listen for when the lyrics hit. So now we're going to obviously start with the I, so that starts right away. And he goes up into woke pretty quick right after that. So woke is going to start right there. And then, you know, we got up that comes in next. And then in, and then beast. And then we got mode. Now what I'm going to do is just cut the tails of all these by hitting Command Shift D, deleting each of those, so that we don't have overlapping lyrics like this. So just hitting each layer, hitting Command Shift D, and so now we get this. So we can actually now then just drag these lyrics around where we would want them. You know, woke up, and then mode can be back up here. So now we can, you know, check it out, which is great. This looks actually pretty cool already. What you're gonna do is just keyframe each one to give each one a little bit of movement. So I usually like to keyframe the position, scale, and rotation of each text layer like this. So we'll just keyframe it like that. You know, we'll switch up the rotation so these things move a little bit each time they come in. We'll do the same thing for all of these text layers. So position, scale, and rotation. We'll just make these keyframes, and we'll just do like little things to make them move around a little bit. So once you keyframe all the words, you get a little bit more dynamic lyric effect. So let's check it out. To me, this is freaking sweet already. It's looking dope. So in order to add like a glow effect to this text, what I'm gonna do with each piece of text here is just click on it, hit layer, and then we're gonna hit auto trace, and it's gonna be the length of the work area. That'll leave us with an auto trace layer of each of our texts like that. And we're gonna drag this free plugin called Saber from my effects and presets under Video Copilot. We're gonna drag that effect onto the auto trace layer. Now, Saber is a totally free plugin that you can download for After Effects. I'll leave a link for it below, and you can get these really cool glowing line effects on your videos and on your text. So what I'm gonna do now is just change my preset to something like Energize, which is really cool. I'm gonna change my customized chord type from Saber to layer masks, so that way it highlights the letter or the word that I'm using. And then I'm gonna change my render settings from black to transparent. That way we can still see the background. So now we get these glowing letters, which can be really cool. So let me just do this really quick to all the words on my timeline. So I'm just gonna speed up through this process because it's the same thing for each word. So you guys will just catch me on the other end of this. Now that I'm done auto tracing all of my text layers, as you can see under each text layer, I also have the auto trace layer. I just copy pasted the same Saber effect onto all my auto trace layers underneath. This is what it's gonna look like. So I think this effect is super fire. Can't wait to use it on some of my next music videos. Since we linked this from Premiere Pro, all you got to do is hit Command S here in Adobe After Effects. Pop back here into Adobe Premiere Pro, and you can see now we have the animated lyrics over our footage. I think this is a really cool way to add the lyrics from the song into the video, and it also just looks really dope. So this brings me to the fifth and final effect that I'm going to cover today, used by Ryan Lynch. And this effect is basically a zoom in effect where he takes the frame of one clip and uses it to transition into the next clip. So what I mean by this, where he just cuts out the background or cuts out something in the clip, and he zooms into that to reveal the next clip. So we're just gonna see this clip right here just zooms into the windshield and transitions into the next clip. And now this is a pretty cool, just straightforward effect that you can do in Adobe Premiere Pro. If you've ever done masking before, you're probably gonna know what's up with this. Let's just take these clips and start this from scratch. I had two clips right here, back to back. Now what I'm going to do with this first clip, I'm just going to take it and drag it out for as long as I want this transition to happen, because we're going to zoom into this windshield right here of this car. So let's see if this is long enough. Boom, yep, that's perfect. So I'm just going to cut, bring the original back down low. And now with this clip right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to my opacity, take this pen tool, and go to the first frame, the very first frame, and we're just going to click around the car windshield like that. Now it's gonna pop up like this and delete the rest of the shot. So what we want to do is just make sure it's inverted. And once you got your first mask drawn out, you're just gonna make a keyframe under mask path, and then we're gonna go a few frames over, right about there. Make sure you click on mask again, and we're just gonna move these points around, and you'll see once I move these points around to cover this windshield, you'll see here that it automatically makes a keyframe under mask. So I'm just going to keep doing that along this clip. I'm just going to keep going a few frames over, dragging the points down, so that they highlight the windshield only. Go all the way to the end here. Do our last one. So now when we look back at it, you can see that it changes, to the next clip. Now we just have to add the zoom effect as well. So what we're going to do is take that same clip, we're going to make a keyframe on scale and position at the very beginning, and we're going to come pretty close to the end here. We're going to zoom in with the scale, change the position a little bit. We want to be pretty zoomed in here before it disappears. So maybe like right around 1,000, maybe a little more, honestly. Right there, that's pretty good. And we're just going to drag it to the end. So now when you play it back, you can see that we just zoom in right to that car, and the next clip is revealed. When you watch it in full motion, it might seem a little bit sudden. You can play around with the length of this transition. Another thing I really like to do is just take this clip, duplicate it, put it on top of itself. With this top clip, get rid of the mask, and you're basically just gonna keyframe the opacity from 100 down to 0 so that it doesn't just show the next clip right away in the windshield. It kind of like transitions a little bit more into it with the opacity change. So now when we watch it back, it's a little bit more of a smooth transition. I have a massive respect for Ryan, and I have a massive respect for Polo G and what they do. Their visuals always look super clean, super professional, and Ryan definitely has his own style and his way to go about doing these things and producing these creative edits that he's putting out and getting a lot of views and respect with. So personally, my favorite effect that we covered today is the animated lyrics. I really think those look dope and can be really cool to use in music videos. But ultimately, guys, don't forget that the reason why Ryan Lynch's videos look really good is that it's not only the effects, it's also his shooting. And his shooting is really, really good. He's very talented behind the camera as much as he is behind the computer when he's editing. If you guys found this video interesting or helpful at all, please leave a like below and subscribe to the channel. I'm really trying to help as many creators out there learn more about the effects used in the industry and about all the up and coming music video directors that are making an impact in today's music culture. So definitely hit that subscribe button. Gonna keep the content coming out as fast as I can. And for those of you who might be interested in downloading some overlays and transitions for your music videos or creative edits, check out my website, venturevisuals.com. Got a bunch of packs on there that help me with my own edits as well. So if you're interested in that, I will leave a link below. And comment below, guys, what artist videos or what director videos or edits do you want to see me talk about and cover next? Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm Jake Venner. Peace out.